Jesus, this mouse happy here. So let's come over here, and we are going to get the owner, and we're going to save this guy as a global variable as demo inventory. And then what we need is a way to transfer this guy's list into here. So we're going to make another FSM. We're going to call it inventory control. Now in the past I have done where you hit the I button, for example, and you activate, deactivate, right? We're not going to do that. I find it easier to do functions on telling the inventory that we're closing it. We don't just deactivate it. So just really quickly, we are going to get button down. No, we want key. Get key down. Get rid of that. Key URI. So toggle inventory is going to be our event. So what we need now is our inventory is a way to receive an event of what we're going to do, open or close. So we are just going to have toggle, and we're going to make him a global event, come in, toggle, and that's inventory master. We're going to copy that so we don't have to retype everything, and back to our inventory control. So we are going to get the button down I, and we are going to send an event to a specific object, a global, our demo inventory, that's the name, and toggle. And then it's going to finish, and it's just going to come back there. Right, and just to make sure that portion's working, I tend to test everything as I go. I hit I, and he's firing off every time I hit I. If I go over to this guy, I can see he is in the toggle. Right, I hit I, he wants to toggle. Perfect. So what is a toggle? What does it mean to open the inventory? Well, what it means to us is that we want to send our list, if we can. So can we set an array? No, of course not. That would be silly. But what we can do is we can send ourselves, and we can set game object to selves, and we're going to send that event. So this guy can now know that he can get event data request from. So it gets important to do this kind of thing, even though I know it seems kind of weird. But that's, like I said, it'll come in play when we start doing multiple inventories. So if we get a toggle command, and it's from this, first thing we need to know is our inventory open or closed? So we're going to need another variable, bool is open, right? And we're going to do a quick little bool test, is open. And we're going to have a true event and a false event. So is it open or is it not open? Actually, no, we better not do that just in case we want to reuse those. Okay. So if it's open, then we need to destroy an array. If it's false, we need to create an array and then deactivate it. Okay, so if false, then we are going to set bool value of is open to true. And obviously the same thing over here is false. So if it's true, turn it to false. If it's false, turn it to true. Right, so we are going to the false root. We are not open. We need to create it. We need to know what to create. So we know the inventory is coming from this person. We know this person has an inventory. So what we're going to do is we are going to take that inventory, right? So we need to get FSM array. We're taking it. Oh, here's the kind of like lots of times if you want a fast way to fill these out, all right, don't keep it like that because it won't hold the references, right? But now I can now go inventory, items. We're going to need to make a variable, but now I swap it over, and this is the request from, right? So these things I got for free. So we need an array of the current collection, and it is going to be of that same demo type thing, right? So that's the current collection. So the player hits I, and we say we're open, we get their array, right? So now once we have that array, let's just finish that. So we now have gotten the array. So we need to create our slots under that container. How many slots do we create? What if you have an inventory that's 12 or 8, and then you have, let's say, a treasure chest that you're going to go loot and it's got 16, right? You don't want to just make a flat number. We're going to make 30 items kind of idea. You could do that. I think the easier thing to do would be, now that we have this array, is to get the array length of the current collection, right? And now that we have that, I'm going to finish that real quick and just come over here. But now we have how many or how big whatever inventory is coming into us. So iterate, which I think it might be on the ecosystem. The n index is the length of the collection. So what we're saying is we want to loop this many times. So however big the collection is, we're gonna loop that. Right? And what's in a loop? Well, we know that we need to create a slot, current slot. It's pretty much the same thing I did here. In fact, I'm just going to drag that one over. We need to create the slot, and we need to set the parent to the container, and then we're going to say done. Now, just to show you that portion of it, if I hit I now have that many things, right? And that's just because that's the length. And if I have 5 items and I hit play and I hit it, I have that many. Oh, right. If I have 12, now you notice 4, 5, there's 13, but I have 12, right? And if I have 2, I get 3. Lots of times when you're dealing with arrays and you're using the count or the length for arrays, you have to subtract 1 from it because we also use 0 as of course I don't have int subtract, I have int add. So length of array add -1, right? And that shall fix that one little issue, right? So if I hit I have 2, and on my player it says I have 2, right? If I have 10, I should now have exactly 2 rows, right? There we go. So that's kind of how we're going to build this little system. Now the other thing is that when we close it, we want to destroy all that's there. And the easiest way to do that is as we build these things, we put all those things into another array. Right? So current slots. The name's relatively similar, but whatever. So array add current slots. We're going to add this guy, which is the current slot. So as we create them, we're going to build this array. Ideally, when we close then,